Hi everyone, welcome to your evening yin class. It's a short 15-minute practice where we get the chance to let go of the day, to slow down and let go of any tension that we might be holding in our body. So if you haven't practiced yin before, we hold poses in the yin class for a couple of minutes. So it's a chance for us just to tune in to our body and see what's going on. And sometimes when we hold a position for a little bit longer, interesting things come up, so to speak. Okay, we'll start with being in a comfortable seated position. You might want to sit on a cushion or on a blanket. Sometimes it's quite nice to elevate your hips a little bit higher up. And we close down our eyes. And we'll draw our shoulders away from our ears. We release any tension that we might be holding in our jaw. We soften our gaze and we simply breathe. In yin, it's not about strength. It's not about effort. It's really about, softening into our body. And in this way, also our breathing is not forced, and unlike some of the stronger yoga classes. So just wherever your breath naturally lands right now, and just notice. We'll take a moment and to have our palms facing up towards the sky or towards the ceiling. And so here we're receiving all the information that our body, our mind, and our heart is revealing to us. We'll take 3 more breaths here together. And when you've taken your 3rd breath, we gently open up our eyes and we're going to make our way onto the mat, onto our back. So we'll come down and we'll lie down onto our back and we'll go into a reclined butterfly position. So what that looks like is you bring your sole of your feet together, so like your knees then open out like the butterfly wings, and we'll come onto our back, like so. You can have an option to place your hand on one hand on your heart and the other hand on your belly. If that feels good, you can have your palms facing up and out, your arms out to the side, or wherever they naturally fall. And feeling the letting go of any tension that you might be holding from the day. Noticing if there are any thoughts that's going on in your mind. We tend to have what we call this monkey mind of ours. And this is our chance to check in to see what kind of thoughts are in there. And there's no judgment, and we simply let those thoughts go. Yin Yoga is a quiet meditative practice where we hold poses for a longer period. And that the reason we do that is so that we can target into the deeper connective tissues, the fascia, the joints, the ligaments. It's really not about strength. If anything, it's a lot of softening into a pose. We don't push, but we allow. And in traditional Chinese medicine, spring is associated with the liver and the gallbladder meridian lines. So in our body, we have these 12 meridian lines, and spring, we pay particular attention to the liver and the gallbladder meridian lines. The liver functionality in traditional Chinese medicine helps us regulate the flow of qi. And qi is prana, it's life force, it's energy. And when our liver meridian line is stuck or stagnant, often we can feel tired, we can feel stuck and irritated. when our liver chi is flowing smoothly, we've got clarity, we're focused, and we've got this feeling of freeness, freedom, and inspiration. And the purpose of Yin Yoga is to target those meridian lines, and with time, allow our body to open up and to open up those meridian lines as well. So we've been here for a couple of minutes. You might feel that your hips have opened a little. Maybe your shoulders have softened, and your whole body have softened a little bit and been really cradled by your yoga mat and held by your yoga mat and by the ground. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And when you finish taking your 3rd breath, just gently using your hands to support your knees, to bring your knees back together facing the ceiling. And we'll take one knee in towards our chest and give it a nice hug, a nice squeeze. And we'll drop that knee down, that leg down, and then pick up the other knee and bring it towards our chest and give it a nice little squeeze. Bring that leg down, and now we'll bring both our knees together towards the chest and give that a nice hug. You can also choose to sway a little bit from left to right, or you could circle your knees, and that's also a very nice sensation. Wonderful. When you're ready, we'll slowly come back up to a seated position. And we're going to do a dragonfly. So, a forward fold in this position. We're going to take our legs wide, but it's not, because this is not a strong yoga class, we don't have to take it to the maximum. In fact, we take it to more or less like a 70%. This can already be quite a strong sensation. So stay here for a little bit and just breathe and see how that feels in your body. If you've got props close by, whether it's a bolster or a cushion, or you've got some blocks, then we can be quite creative with our blocks, with our props. So I've got a bolster and I've got a block here, and I'm going to slightly lean forward. And as with all poses in Yin, there is no forcing. So I'm not trying to reach to the ground and do this perfect pose. It's not like that at all with Yin. But it's playing around to see where is your edge. A little bit of, you can feel it. So you're not completely not doing anything, but you're also not forcing yourself and pushing yourself too hard. And the beautiful thing about Yin is, or the beautiful thing when you allow your body time, you can really notice it opens up. So here, after a couple of breaths, you might choose to just test whether you can come forward a little bit more. I quite like to, support my head by my hands sort of underneath my chin to support it, and that's really nice. And in Yin, we're not looking for this perfect pose straight back or anything like that. You can round your back, you can tilt your head forward. If you had quite a tough day today, it might be very nice to have your head in your hand like this and completely surrender. Most important thing is we're listening to our body and breathing simply. 3 more breaths here. If you're feeling very open, maybe you want to fold forward a little bit more and see how that feels for you. And as you finish your 3rd breath, we'll slowly come up, using your hands to support you. And then using your hands to help support your knee as well as we lift it up. Whoa. And sometimes the sensation can be quite intense. And we'll move, if you're using any props, we'll move on the side, bring the knees together. Quite nice just to lean back as a counter, or we can have windshield wiper our knees left to right and being gentle here. Fantastic. We're going to move into our last pose for the evening, and that is we're going to be back on our backs, and a simple twist. Simple, but actually very, very effective. Come back onto our backs, our knees bent, facing the ceiling. We're going to cross our right leg over our left. Just lift our hip up a little bit and move our hips slightly over to the right, and then drop our knees over to the left. And with your right arm, you can let it stretch out to the side. You have both arms stretch out to the side. With your head, you can turn in opposite direction. So look into your right hand, or not. And we breathe. A nice one to help with the digestive system. A twist at the end of the day. I think it's got a very nice, it's like we're twisting out the day, like a tea towel, we're wringing out the water out of it. And in this way, we're kind of wringing out our day. If your mind has drifted, we bring your attention back to here, to now, and to your breath. One more deep breath here before you untwist and come back to center. And then we'll go the other side, left leg over to the right. Just lift your hip and slightly take it to the left before dropping both your knees over to the right hand side. And then place your hands in a position that feels good for you. And what's interesting is that, your two sides of your body could feel quite different. And again, in Yin, it gives us an opportunity just to notice. Is this side slightly tighter than the other? What's important here is there's no judgment whatsoever. Just being here, and allowing yourself the time to connect back with your breath and with your body and with your mind. Wonderful. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And slowly unwind and bring your knees back to the center. Feel free to give your knees big of a hug and bring them towards your chest. That feels good. And we'll slowly make our way up to a seated position. Receiving signals from your body. Taking notice of how you're feeling now compared to when you first started. Gently open your eyes. And thank you for joining me for today's class.